Welcome to this episode of Kennedy Saves the World. So you're in love and you want to get a dog. Well, just be prepared if the relationship falls apart. You're going to have some real problems if you don't think the whole thing through. Because dogs, cats, it doesn't matter where they go. Whoever doesn't want the cat, they don't have to take the cat because cats are inferior to dogs. Dogs are emotional, they have souls, and they are members of our family. And you cannot treat a dog like a disposable item. So that means Rover.com has a new PrePup. And that's a checklist that you should really go over and talk about before you get a dog. Because if you are struggling in your relationship, a dog is not going to magically bring you together like a coating of Flex Seal. Unfortunately, the responsibility and the emotional investment, it might actually drive couples apart. That's why I agree with the PrePup checklist. So you have to figure out, before you get a dog, first of all, what kind of dog are you going to get? You cannot impulse buy a dog. You can't do it. There are a lot of people who are like, adopt, don't shop. I don't agree with that. If there is a breed that you like, if there is a dog that you love, because they all have different personalities and different temperaments and different energy levels. Some are athletic, some are smart, and the others are French bulldogs. So you have to decide what you want. And once you do that, obviously, dogs take work, especially puppies, because they can be maniacal little monsters for the first couple years of their lives. Not the first 6 months, not the first year. It's really not until 2 that dogs start to mellow out. And that means, like, my dog, he's, 8 years old. He's not as fat as he used to be. Lemmy, I just want you to know, he lost 3 pounds, and that's a big deal. He was like 37 and change, which is huge for a French bulldog, and he has found a way to hop up on the table. I don't know how he does it. He's not an acrobat, but he gets up there, he finds food. If either of my girls leave anything in their rooms, whether it's watermelon chunks or a half a bag of Doritos, he will go in there, he will find it. He will Mission Impossible his way in there. He will be levitating via wires over food and snacks in their room, and he will evade all of the sensors. He will get in, he will eat, he will gorge, and then he will come out and have the farts all night long, and it's miserable. I knew that I wanted a French bulldog. Everyone in the family knew that we wanted a French bulldog. We're very happy with Lemmy, and when my ex-husband and I split, it was obvious that the dog was going to follow the girls. The girls, by and large, live with me. They see their dad a lot. It's quite a lovely arrangement. And I would encourage people, if they do split up, to do it as civilly as possible and to always remain a family. It is something that is achievable. That's another podcast for another day. But a dog is not a football. It's not something that you toss back and forth. It is not something that is tossed in the trash. I know a lot of people gave up their dogs when they adopted them during COVID, and that makes me super, super sad. So that's why you have to make some real adult decisions about who is going to walk and feed, who is going to procure food. Are you going to have farmer's dog? Are you going to have fresh food, or are you going to have kibble? Are you going to go to Chewy, or are you going to find, and that's, a website, or are you going to find a mom and pop pet shop to support? So you have a local business that you engage with, because dogs take a lot of money. What kind of insurance are you going to get? Who's going to pay for insurance? And God forbid, if you split up, who is going to take the dog? That may be a different answer to the same question based on who your dog bonds with, because you may be the dog person. You may be the one driving the dog ship going, okay, this is what we need. This is the kind of dog we're going to get. And this is how we're going to do it. This is how we do it. And then all of a sudden, your dog, for whatever reason, likes humping your boyfriend's leg better. And maybe you have a gay dog like I do. I have a gay dog. And you know what? He likes men. Thank goodness I have my sexy teenage boyfriend to bond. He needed a male in the house to lust after. Just like his mom. Grr. But you may have a dog who bonds differently than you imagine it's going to when you get the dog. Also, are you going to crate train, or are you going to let the dog sleep on your bed? Let me go ahead and spoil it. You will probably start crate training if you're a crate person. And then dogs are warm and comfy and cozy, and you will be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he sleeps with his head on my pillow. And you're going to give in just like the rest of us do. Lemmy was crate trained for 3 years. And then he ended up in my bed for a long, long time. And now he sleeps on a dog bed because he can no longer jump off the bed because he had a herniated disc in his neck in 2020. And that was so expensive. And I didn't have pet insurance back then. So absolutely talk about pet insurance. Absolutely talk about the kind of food you're going to get, whether or not the dog's going to be crate trained, and have a formal agreement. Because even if you're not married, it should be emotionally enforceable. That means if you agree to it and you write it down and you break up, you have something to look at to say we were both adults when we made the decision to get a dog together. And now we are going to be adults if we do, in fact, split up. And it can be very heartbreaking, but you have to be realistic about these things. You have to protect yourself, but you also have to do what's best for your dogs. Dogs are awesome. And yes, of course, they can make you feel like a very complete family until and if you have human children. But make sure you are respecting the dog as much as you are any other family member. And I have to say, I think there are a lot of people, especially in New York, who like dogs a lot more than they like people. In some ways, that's very good because I have always said a society that loves dogs is a good society filled with good people. But we have to learn how to transfer the love and excitement we have for dogs to other people. That's what will heal New York. That's what will save the world. But save yourself some heartache before you step into the entire process. You can go to rover.com. They're not a sponsor. I'm being an agnostic here. And look up the PrePup. It's like a prenup, but with 4 legs. This has been Kennedy Saves the World. Hopefully I saved your dog and your family. I'm Kennedy. Listen ad-free with a Fox News Podcast Plus subscription on Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Prime members can listen to this show ad-free on the Amazon Music app.
Oh, go ahead and leave me a review while you're there. I'd love to hear what you have to say. You've been listening to Kennedy Saves the World on the Fox News Podcast Network.